There are plenty of videos here on YouTube telling you what you should be doing to try to improve your game in Black Ops 6 rank play. But in this video, let's talk about what you are probably doing that you should stop doing that will improve your rank play game as well. If this is your first time here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. And before we get started, is it just me, or are we hardly ever getting any search and destroy matches at this point? Since rank play has been live, I literally think I've only played about 5 S&D matches tops. Let us know down below if you guys notice the same thing as well. Let's go ahead and get rolling though. So first things first, you keep changing your settings. Stop doing this. Now, oftentimes when we have an update of some sort, especially if you are on PC, your settings may default back to the recommended settings for your PC. I am not talking about this. I mean just changing your settings randomly, graphics settings, aim assist settings, aim response curve type things of that nature. This will make it super difficult for you to get the hang of the game. Now, a lot of content creators are dropping best settings videos, best controller settings videos, whatever the case may be. For the graphics settings, we need to understand that not everyone has the same computer specs. So what works for one person might not work for the next person. Something as minor as having a 30 series graphics card or a 40 series graphics card, an i7 or an i9 CPU, these things matter. So what I'm getting at here is take the time to figure out how to make your game run the smoothest for your rig. Set it and forget about it. I usually recommend running the graphics preset on minimum or basic because it takes the most strain off of your PC, also allowing you to get the most FPS or frames per second possible. Also, when you think about it, a lot of these content creators that have really big fan bases probably have pretty expensive rigs. And not only that, some of them have 2 rigs, one PC for streaming and recording and the other one for gaming. And you can actually destroy your computer trying to copy these settings from these creators. All right, enough of me bumping my gums on this. Let's go ahead and move on to the next point, and you are getting comfortable with the lead. I do not care if you are up 244 to 20 in hardpoint. Finish the damn game. My high school coach would always tell me, don't play with your food. Dead ass though. I would be lying if I said this never happened to me. Too many times I've seen players get comfortable with the lead and they want to go ahead and stop playing the objective so they can go ahead and farm kills. Maybe you're trying to hit some clips for you to upload to social media. Fuck all that shit and get the damn win. I don't know about you guys, but I would much rather get the win and have no footage for the YouTube channel than have footage for the YouTube channel and keep losing. If you guys have been here before, I know you guys have seen me recycle clips. It's because I will always prioritize winning, which inherently means I'm not gonna have the best nights all of the time content-wise, but if I'm helping my team win, that's what I care about the most. Plenty of times I will go on some nasty tears. I'm talking 10, 11 kill streaks, and because I want to win, that moment will never see the internet. I know I kind of derailed off of the point there, but the main thing here is to get the damn win. Nothing else matters. Next, you keep changing your attachments on your loadouts. This is cohesive with the first point about keeping on changing your settings. But whatever reason, a lot of folks keep changing small things on their loadouts and they wonder why the game is feeling inconsistent. It could be something as small as changing the stock on your weapon or maybe your underbarrel or whatever attachment. If you keep on changing attachments, you will not build up that muscle memory depending on the situation. Right now, I think I have my recoil patterns pretty controlled for the most part. Something that was an issue for me at the start of rank play was P3 on Vault or that B control area on Vault. Those guys I like to sit in top paint or top art, whatever you guys like to call it. Those guys sitting up there rent-free were putting me in the blender. I found the best loadout for me to be able to smoke those guys from top paint. And at this point, those guys will be lucky to get more than a couple of kills up there now. If you are curious for that Ames build, let us know down below. But yes, make a loadout, stick to it until the next patch, and then go ahead and revisit your loadout. That is the approach you should take, in my opinion, when it comes to your loadout and attachments. Next is poor team composition. So start trying to make this better and coordinate with your team. Having a balanced team composition with roles like slayers, objective players, and support is important. A team full of players with the same playstyle can struggle against a well-rounded opponent. But a couple of things here. It is important to not label yourself as one thing. For example, having the mindset of I'm a slayer, so I'm not gonna touch the objective. This will do so much more harm than good. What good is it if you get a 4-piece, but you're not close enough to the point to fill in some time? it doesn't matter. Now, there is no right way to do this, but this is something you need to figure out amongst your squad. Personally, I like to consider my playstyle in hardpoint and control is a 1 foot in, 1 foot out playstyle, meaning I am absolutely close enough to the point to be able to feel some time if one of my teammates drop or if they need some help with progress toward the segments in control, but I also try to see if I can get lines of sight for the person that is inside the point for intel. And usually the other 2 players on my team support in that system. That being said though, I am not saying all of you guys need to be on the point at once, because now at that point, the only intel you will have is when enemies get too close for comfort to you. But yes, figure out this amongst your team. This is super important. And next, stop underestimating your opponents. Let's keep it a stack. We've all gotten into a lobby and noticed there were some players on the other team that were in a lower division than us, or maybe even 2 divisions lower than us. A lot of the times, those folks are still decent players. Not all of the time though, obviously, but never underestimate anyone or any situation. You will most definitely be disappointed. Assuming that the enemy team is less skilled can lead to complacency and stupid mistakes, and let's be real, in rank play, you want to keep those mistakes to a minimum. Always playing with the competitive mindset is important. At the same time though, if there are players in a higher skill division than you in your lobby, do not psych yourself out and think, oh shit, this guy is Diamond 3, or oh shit, this guy is Crimson 2. Don't worry about that shit. Play the game like you know how to play the game, and do not put too much stake into the ranks, because there is a reason why you guys made it into each other's lobbies through matchmaking one way or another. Next, stop managing your time poorly, such as not rotating to the hard point in time or spending too long in one area in general. This can cost you valuable points and positioning. Yes, when you are playing hardpoint, you want to try and soak up as much time as possible, but a lot of the time, it is best to leave the old hill alone and try to get a solid setup on the new hill. A lot of times, I've seen one player go ahead and try to get to the new hill early, while there are still 3 players at the old hill. I'd be lying if I said the squad and I weren't guilty of this. Like always, if you want to designate someone to go ahead and get that scrap time, make sure to coordinate that with your team. This is very situational though. If you ask me, some hills aren't worth scrap time. For example, on Vault P1 to P2, the scrap time on P1 is irrelevant. That's just my personal opinion, of course, but I think it'll be much more beneficial to just bump P1 after a certain point and go ahead and try to set up for P2, because that hill can be significantly difficult to break if you're playing against some shooters. Next, you are not prioritizing your communication. Something that bugs the absolute shit out of me is all of the energy players use complaining about what didn't go their way, rather than giving their teammates intel. All of that moaning and groaning because you went on a little death streak isn't only gonna make shit worse for you, but for your team as well. So take that energy and start speaking up effectively. And not only should you relay intel by your team the second you get the drop on enemies, you should also let your teammates know what you plan on doing that certain play, so they can go ahead and make other adjustments accordingly. And these are just 2 minor points of communication, and I'm only mentioning these because, again, this is something I've been seeing way too much of in rank play. Effective communication is crucial. If you are solo queuing and you don't use voice chat or fail to call out enemy positions, you are inherently at a disadvantage. If you guys have anything to add though, feel free to drop everything down below in the comment section. And if you've made it to the end, thank you for sticking around. I'll drop 2 more videos for you on the screen right here, and consider subbing if you dug the content. Thank you all for your time. All y'all take care, and I'm out.